Today's plastic repair challenge is this broken lid on a 1997 Jeep Wrangler center console. This console is made from a rigid plastic called ABS. Polyvance has a great way to repair ABS plastic. In this instructional video, we'll do a full repair on this lid using the PlastiFix rigid plastic repair kit. As you can see, this classic Jeep Wrangler console lid is broken off just above the hinge. The first step of any plastic repair is to identify the plastic so that the proper repair method can be chosen. Here we see the identification symbol molded into the backside of the console lid. It says ABS. This is a very common rigid plastic used on automotive interiors and trim parts. It's also widely used in household items like consumer electronics. A great way to repair ABS is Polyvance's PlastiFix rigid plastic repair kit. This is a methacrylate two-part repair system which uses a liquid acrylic monomer combined with a powder catalyst that melts into ABS plastic to form a repair that is often stronger than an actual fusion weld. It's perfect for do-it-yourselfers who don't want to purchase a plastic welder for an occasional plastic repair. The console lid has two components, the upper and the lower. The hinge is screwed through the lower into posts on the upper part. Both of the posts broke, as did the flat part of the lower lid. First, remove the part of the lid that is still attached to the hinge. Save these broken posts, as we'll have to reattach them to the upper part of the lid. Then we can remove the flat part that we'll reattach to the bottom part of the lid. Separate the top part of the lid from the bottom by removing the other screws. This will give us access to reattach the broken posts from the upper part of the lid. Before working with any of our adhesives, use protective gloves. Here we're using our InstaWeld cyanoacrylic glue adhesive to tack the posts back into place. After the glue dries, use a Dremel tool to cut away the area around the posts so they can be reinforced with PlastiFix. Using the dropper method, apply PlastiFix around the posts to reattach them securely to the upper part of the lid. PlastiFix takes about an hour to reach full strength, so set the upper part of the lid aside while we work on the lower part. Pull away the foam rubber gasket carefully and tape it back out of the way. Then grind a bevel along each side with a Dremel tool. The drum sander attachment works well for this. If you don't have a Dremel tool, you can sand the bevel by hand. The reason for grinding the bevel is to allow for the PlastiFix to hold the parts together with the surface flush. Clean the plastic with 1000 Super Prep plastic cleaner to remove any residue. Allow the cleaning solvent to evaporate completely. Tack the broken part back onto the lower part of the lid using InstaWeld cyanoacrylic glue. If you don't have InstaWeld, any commonly available superglue will work. Here we are spraying the InstaWeld activator onto the glue to quick cure it. There are a few ways to apply PlastiFix, but if you can orient the surface horizontally, the sprinkle method works the fastest. First, sprinkle a thin layer of PlastiFix powder into the V-groove. Then wet the powder with the liquid. As long as the powder is saturated with liquid, the PlastiFix will cure. It is important to apply the powder in thin layers so that the liquid will soak all the way through and saturate the powder. If you apply the powder too thick, the liquid will not soak all the way through, resulting in a weak repair. Take your time and apply several layers of powder and liquid, filling the V-groove completely flush with the surface. Allow the PlastiFix about 45 minutes to harden before working on the other side. Once the PlastiFix is hard, flip the lid over and V-groove the other side. Here we are using a 6121-T teardrop cutting bit in the Dremel tool to grind the V-groove. Apply the PlastiFix the same way on this side, pouring the PlastiFix powder into the V-groove, then soaking it with liquid. On each edge of the repair, we'll use the dropper method to precisely locate the adhesive. Squeeze 1 or 2 drops of liquid into the powder. Immediately stab the wet powder with the tip of the needle to pick up a ball of PlastiFix. Squeeze the bottle to allow the liquid to wash the PlastiFix ball off the needle onto the area you want. Finally, we will apply some more powder over the main break, smoothing it with our finger to get a better finish. Soak the powder with liquid again and allow to cure completely. Reattach the foam rubber gasket with some superglue. PlastiFix can be sanded and painted if desired, but in this case, the rubber gasket hides the repair area pretty well, so we'll go with it. Now is time to screw the lower lid to the upper, then reattach the lid to the hinge. The lid works great and looks like new. Since old parts like this are sometimes difficult or impossible to find, PlastiFix can help keep older vehicles on the road and looking good. Look to Polyvance for all of your plastic repair and refinishing needs.